cool. My first time vlogging. Hi everyone, I'm doing my first travel vlog. I have not traveled yet. I've traveled a lot, but I have not traveled yet to make a new video, if that makes sense. What to expect from this travel vlog. Cinematic videography. Obviously, I have these kind of skills. I would say history. I don't know anything about history. I know absolutely nothing. I'm an anthro major, but I really don't know much about history. Probably can't even expect accurate facts from me. I'll look some stuff up, but I mean, if my sources might slip up a little bit, don't come after me, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Things I mess up, things I forget, things I never thought about, like me bringing a suitcase to Nepal who just had an earthquake at the time. Like, that just wasn't smart. I just ended up throwing that suitcase away because all the wheels fell off because it was so heavy I couldn't pick it up, and I just had to like pull it over these like boulders. And I'm not saying like a boulder, I'm saying like a boulder. So that's honestly what to expect. Just see some views, be like, that's cool, I would go there. Probably not do what she did, but I would go there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do. This is a hobby for me. We also have like a ton of animals. I mean, a ton of animals, okay? We have a pig, 3 dogs, a cat. He's got fish now. Like, it's a whole thing. Now he wants a pet fox. Like, I was like, we can't travel and have all these animals because it is expensive. Like, it's expensive enough to travel, but it's expensive to also have to pay for like a pet resort for your dogs to go to, and then I have to pay someone to drive out to my house in the middle of nowhere, feed my pig. Like, it's a whole thing. A lot of this will be like shorter trips, like maybe 10 days, but I think that'll be good because sometimes when I watch travel vlogs, I feel like it's like, oh my god, I want their life, you know? But it's like, that's how do I make this attainable for me? Like, if I'm gonna go to Thailand and I can't spend 3 months in Thailand, how would I make this manageable for me? And like maybe like a 12-day trip where I could make that happen. And what are the highlights? What are the things I want to see? And like kind of compress it. So I think that is one benefit of this travel vlog. It'll be more for people who are not fully remote, who do maybe work corporate jobs or have a lot of pets, they can't travel that far, things like that. And also just like money in general. Like, I know there's like ways to get cheaper flights, or you can get a credit card and get miles and then pay it off and then have all these miles. Like right now I have like 60,000 American miles, and I actually put all my parents' flights for Zion on my American Airlines credit card. They gave me the money right away, so I just paid it off. But I got all their miles for it, which is awesome. So I'm just collecting miles. So like if I do a big trip like Thailand or go back to Nepal, trips like that with like these big flights, like I'm excited to use those miles. Places I've been. Costa Rica, Mexico, Qatar, Nepal. India is 5. After India, I want to say Guatemala, 6. So after Guatemala, I went to like an Alaskan cruise, and I stayed in Canada for 2 days in Vancouver. So I've been to Canada, so that is 7. And what is my 8th country? So this is me realizing that I have not been to 8 countries, but yet I have only been to 7. And I am not happy about it. Am I counting the United States? How did I have 8? I've only been to 7 countries. Oh my god, that's even more sad. So the first one was Costa Rica. It's about a 10-day trip. It was the first time I've ever left the United States, and I absolutely loved it there. I totally lived there. I love the food. I love the people. We went hiking. We went all the way up through the cloud forest, and then we didn't go to the beach, but then I went back to Costa Rica just 3 years ago before COVID, and my fiance and I went to the beach and Tamarindo, and where it's like super expensive and Americanized, but it was really beautiful water. And we went fishing on this kayak, and I don't know how to kayak. First time I kayaked. Now I'm better at it, but before I could not kayak, so that was a rough time. But we literally like spun in a circle and stuff, and while my fiance fished, and then I would take my GoPro out, try to get a video, and then turn us back around because we're like in the middle of the ocean trying to stay away from these giant boulders that were out there. But it was a lot of fun. I love Costa Rica, and we're going back there in March of 2023 to get married, so that's pretty cool. So that'll be our third time going to Costa Rica. It's also kind of like a future trip, past 2 trips. So Costa Rica, been there, done that. I still haven't seen the entire country, but when we go and get married, we're gonna go there for a week before the wedding, and we're going to go see the whole opposite side of Costa Rica. So then I'll officially have been to everywhere in Costa Rica, which will be very, very cool because there's a sloth sanctuary that I really want to go to. So that'll be awesome. Yeah. Then we go into the next place I went to was Mexico. This was about a week-long trip, another study abroad situation. We hiked some Mayan ruins. We went to Chichen Itza, which was my least favorite because of how populated Chichen Itza is. You can't climb anything, and I really like to climb. Especially it's cool to see like that I actually fit in everywhere because I'm small, and it's meant for my size kind of people. They're like these tiny doorways, and I'm with like normal people, and they're like 6 feet tall, and they couldn't fit in the doorway. So that was kind of fun. I love Mexico. I love the people. Love the food. We dove like physically, like free dove into cenotes, and those were so beautiful, and I would have had great footage. I have like one picture in a cenote because I dropped my GoPro when I jumped. It fell off my head, and my top fell off. So I decided to grab my top instead of my GoPro. Luckily, I went with someone who scuba dives a lot. He had no gear, so he like free dove really deep to the bottom, got my GoPro because you could actually see the red flashing light that it was there. So he found it, pulled it out, but I couldn't recover the footage. Like something happened when I was trying to download it to the cloud. It would have been really cool footage too. I had like so many shady things happen to my GoPro, but I never lost it. So that was my GoPro 4. Oh, Nepal. I went to Nepal the year after. I was tired of doing these short trips. I want to go a semester abroad. That's what made me decide, like, I was kind of over the softball and I want to do something else. Little did I know softball was going to become my full-time job. I totally went all the way to Nepal. I didn't know how far it was. I didn't really know where it was. I had no idea how long the plane ride was. I don't know anybody on that side of the world at all. I absolutely love Nepal. I lived there for 6 months. The homestay family, it was a Tibetan refugee family, so I was studying refugees. Did like a private study where I taught English to Buddhist nuns, and I worked with the nunnery, and then I wrote my story, book, situation thing, presentation, did all that. I got lice way up in the Himalayas when we hiked the Annapurna. It took like 6 days doing it. That was really, I love that trail. I would much rather recommend that over base camp, because base camp is like a ton of people over there. So I would recommend going to Annapurna to go through these like little markets and towns through the trail, and it's really, really nice. And it's challenging, it's not easy. We went all the way up to like the border of where Tibet is, like as far as you can go without getting into Tibet, and then we went into southern India. So India is my 4th country that I've been to. I would like to go back to India and experience more of it, but I only saw the southern part in Bailakupi, and like around that area. It's really warm there. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing more stories from each trip of like stupid things I did. And right after that trip, I went on an Alaskan cruise where I went to Canada for 2 days. So I went to Vancouver. I haven't been past Vancouver, just been up there, and Vancouver's really nice. The food was really good, and that's all about what I remember. My 6th country I went to was Guatemala. When I went to Guatemala, it was after my senior year of college, and I love Guatemala. It was my 2nd choice for my wedding destination in Lake Atitlan, and it's really beautiful out there. You can rent like a house and stay like right over the lake, and then you can take like a little ferry boat into the city. I forget what the city is called. I'd have to look, but there's like more nightlife stuff there. That's not really my scene, but you can do that if you want. And then there's like a bunch of restaurants and stuff. We also stayed in Antigua, which my aunt actually owns a house in Antigua, which is like really pretty. It's on Airbnb. So you can rent it out. It's not cheap, but it's a really pretty house. They have like a garden, like a little courtyard in the middle that's out. Really nice house. So we stayed there in Antigua. We saw some of the churches and stuff. Hotel Domingo, I believe what it is. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but it's like supposed to be a haunted hotel. So we went there. There's like a whole museum, and there's like mummies buried in the floor. So we saw that. And my great grandma, who passed away in October, like a year, maybe 2 years ago, she was like 102. We went there for her 100th birthday, but then we found out when she was there, she was only 99. I went on and on and on, so I decided to save you guys from that. So let's just move on to the 7th country, okay? When I flew into Nepal, I landed in Qatar, and usually I wouldn't count a layover, but I stayed there for like a day. So I'm gonna count it because I didn't just stay in the airport. Like 18-hour layovers. I went on a tour, a night bus tour. They took us through the markets and stuff. My phone died, and I was a little scared because I was like, I'm by myself. It's the first time I traveled by myself at the time. I just went around these markets, no phone, and like hope I found my tour bus. But that was like a 5-hour long market tour trip thing. And then I slept in a hotel, and then I got up and went to Nepal. So I explored like the city part of Qatar. So I think I can count that. Would be 7 countries. That's where I've been so far. I would like to create more videos of my past experiences. I just have to find some old footage, and I can't find any from Guatemala, Costa Rica, and Mexico. They're all on the same SD card, and I think I found an SD card split in half in my Osprey bag. So I'm assuming that's the one, and that really sucks. But in a week from Tuesday, I will be going to Utah for the first time. So I'm trying to explore more local places in the United States, because there's a lot of places in the United States I haven't seen. And I think sometimes I'm like, I just want to travel, and then I'm like, I haven't even seen like half of the national parks. So I'm gonna go to Utah. I'm gonna see Zion National Park because it's like everyone's favorite national park, and picture wise I feel like I would really like it. But I didn't know there's a lottery for Angel's Landing. I don't know if it was like a COVID thing they started, but they took away all the other COVID things. But there is a lottery. There's like a 3-month lottery, and then there's a day of lottery. So the 3-month lottery for the spring has been closed because we planned this trip really last minute, but I can qualify to do the day of lottery, so I'm really hoping I get into it. So I have an alarm set at like 12 a.m. in the morning, get on a plane, land, and then around 4 o'clock it says that they'll tell me if I got into the lottery or not. So depending on that, I might do Angel's Landing. We are doing part of the Narrows. We're not going to do the whole thing because we're only going to be gone for like 4 days, so we don't have enough time. And we're not spending the whole time at Zion. So after Zion, we're going to go to Bryce Canyon. We have like a 5-hour trek hike thing with a guide, because God forbid my parents don't have a guide that explains to them like different levels of the rock, which is cool. It's cool. I'm not a big fan. Like, I think that'll be great, but I don't need like a hiking guide all the time for everything. I mean, the Bryce Canyon hikes look pretty easy, but we'll see what I think when I get there. And then after that, we're gonna go to the Grand Canyon, closest to the Las Vegas side. I forget what entrance that's called, because if you look up the Grand Canyon, there's like so many different kinds of entrances. So we're gonna be more by like the Hoover Dam. So there's like this big raft that will take you through the rock. So we're thinking about doing that. That's what we're doing. I'm hoping to get tan because I haven't seen the sun in 3 years. Costa Rica, March of 2023 will be my next like new country trip. I'm hoping to sneak in another one in the meantime, and maybe my fiance and I will hit up some more national parks during the summer. My fiance actually went to Canada to go on like a fishing trip, and his car got stolen, so he's in the process of getting that back today. Finally, it's been 2 weeks. They actually did find the car, which is cool. Once all that gets taken care of, I hope to have more plans. My ideas for upcoming videos is showing the planning process of my Zion trip. Maybe like what I pack. I went to REI. I'd like to go REI again, but then my mom convinced me that I don't need to go again. Oh my God, Squirrel looks like a monkey. Never had a sign off before. What is my sign off gonna be? I don't really know. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you around at Zion and everywhere else I go. Like if you like this video. Do I get any benefit from it? No, because I have no following. 6 likes is better than 0, okay? And subscribe. You know, like this, subscribe it, click any button you see down below besides the one that looks like that.